Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Becoming Cleo. I am so excited that you're here. Today I want to talk about the 7 different habits that I have incorporated into my life to help me manage anxiety, reduce stress, and to reset my nervous system. But before we get into it, I am not a doctor, nor am I a mental health professional. I am sharing my experiences and things that I'm trying and things that are working for me. Now, with that being said, some of this video is going to be talking about anxiety and my experiences with anxiety. So if that's something that you're not interested or something that might be triggering to you, feel free to click off of this video. So let's get into it. So I have anxiety, and I've had anxiety for as long as I can remember. I think it started in childhood and then it just progressed throughout my life. And the anxiety shows up and looks different depending on where I am in my life. What I mean by that is freshman year of college, I really felt like I struggled with social anxiety more. And then after I graduated, I felt like it became more of just like a general anxiety that I was experiencing. And as of lately, my anxiety has been at an all-time high. So I've been trying to figure out different wellness practices that I can do to help manage it and then also to help reset my nervous system. I feel like it's really dysregulated, y'all. I be stressed. But right now, the way that anxiety is showing up to me is not being able to sleep completely throughout the night and typically just waking up way earlier before my alarm starts due to anxiety, feeling dread, feeling like this heaviness in my chest, just feeling on edge and feeling super stressed out, stagnant, feeling stuck, and just kind of like experiencing a lot of hopelessness as it relates to anxiety and not sure if I can move forward or how to move forward or what I can even do to move forward in my life. Because lately I have been feeling stuck and really just stagnant about where I am in life and like the direction that I've been wanting to move in and the direction that I've been trying to pivot into. But I just feel like I don't really see a way out. Like I'm not exactly sure what I can do to get out of the situation. I'm just now starting to feel more hopeful and feeling like the things that I want to do and who I want to become is finally starting to happen. I feel like I'm making little tiny strides that I felt like I haven't really made in the past year or in the past few months. So I'm really excited about the growth that I've been experiencing. But it's also been a challenge because I've had to reset my nervous system, manage my anxiety, and also just lower my stress levels. That's what I'm going to talk about today. This video is going to be about the different things that I've been doing to help me reset, to help me ground myself, and really just to help me manage the anxiety, the stress, and just to reset my nervous system. So I am someone that's really into holistic health and wellness. So a lot of the practices that I'm going to be talking about are going to be related to that as well. So let's get into it. So the very first wellness habit that I want to talk about is drinking tea. So I'm a tea girl through and through. I love tea day and night. It's hot out, when it's cold out. I just really love tea. It's so warm, it's comforting, it's cozy, and it makes you feel really good inside. But fun fact, I actually did not like tea until 2017. And I think it's because I had only ever had cold or iced tea to where I just feel like I really wasn't vibing with it. But once I once I came across some hot tea, I really just fell in love with it, and I have been liking tea ever since. I'm also really into holistic health, as I mentioned before, and herbalism, and I'm also taking a class on herbalism, which means I am building my herb collection. So one of the teas that I like to drink to help me reset my nervous system and to manage my stress is actually going to be lavender and chamomile tea. I feel like this is a pretty common tea blend that a lot of people know about, but if you didn't know, it does help you with calming your nervous system, reducing your anxiety, and reducing your stress. I like to make it with water and seep the herbs into that. The thing that I just learned is that you can make it with milk and it's 10 times better. So pick your milk of choice. I typically use oat milk. That's one of my favorite milks. And I will heat that up on the stove top or in my kettle. And then I'll seep the lavender and chamomile inside of the milk. Let it do its thing for 15 minutes, getting all of those herbal properties. And then after that, I'll add a little bit of honey. I promise you, it puts me to sleep. I really feel like it's like a baby drinking milk. Like something about it is so calming, it's so relieving, and it really just helps you to just like relax, where you feel it all over your body, you feel it in your legs, how relaxed you are. That's one of the very first things that I do. I actually have my holy basil tea right here because I feel like I couldn't be talking about tea without having my tea next to me. Second wellness habit that I want to talk about is coloring or sketching. So for sketching, I actually used to sketch a lot my senior year of college, and I felt like it was a really good and healthy way for me to relieve stress and a way for me to help process my thoughts. I would kind of just doodle and sketch up what comes to mind, and it was just really helpful with like figuring out how I feel and then getting that onto paper. Now, coloring is something that I really hadn't done since I was a kid, like taking a crayon or a color pencil and coloring a picture. Like, I just don't remember the last time that I actually did that. But then my boyfriend got me this sketchbook, and I haven't used it in a while, but I think I'm going to start bringing it back because I really did enjoy it when I first got this book. This is the adult coloring book. It's for stress relief, and it's really fun to actually color all the different animals in the book. And I'll show you guys some of the colorings that I've done so far. So I did this one here, which is a giraffe. I also have this bunny one right here that I thought was beautiful. And I don't think I have any more in here. I know I had an elephant at some point, but I think I tore that out. But this is pretty much, the book has different animals that you can color, and it's so much fun. I'm not sure where he got it from, but I'll ask him. And then if it's from Amazon or wherever it's from, I'll see if I can still find it, and I'll link that in the description below. This is my sketchbook. I got this from Michael's a few weeks ago, and this was just like I think it was like a $10 sketchbook, and it's really thick. And this is what I use to sketch, and then these pencils to go with it. I really want to talk about coloring for a second because it really does take you to like your inner child and healing that younger version in you. And it really just feels like childlike and fun and freeing, especially as an adult. So if you can get a coloring book, then I highly recommend it. Third wellness habit is walking. I have been really blessed to live in California where it's warm pretty much all year round, and also to live in a walker-friendly area. So this is going to be different for everybody depending on where you live and what you have going on. Walking has been something that has been very therapeutic because, number one, I always try to stay off my phone when I walk and really just unplug. And I don't even listen to music when I walk because I just want it to be me in nature. Like, I just want to be present as I'm walking. I just want to take in my surroundings. And I also just want to enjoy being outside. Walking is also really good for you if you're someone like me who struggles with having a low vitamin D level. I'm pretty much always vitamin D deficient to the point where I have to take those high doses of vitamin D. And as I've been walking for quite some time, I'm actually able to notice the difference in how I feel when I walk outside versus when I don't walk outside. My mood is going to be very different from the days that I don't walk versus the days that I do. And I also experience more anxiety and stress on the days that I don't go outside. So I really try to prioritize that, and I try to do it at the top of my mornings because that's when I find that it helps me best. Plus, if I don't walk in the morning, I'm less likely to walk in the afternoon. Now, if you don't follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, then you may not know this, but this month I set out to walk as much as I can within these next 12 weeks in the year. So I have been walking pretty much almost every day since October 1st. But if you want to follow me and keep up with that journey, I talk a lot about it on TikTok and I give weekly updates. This is my TikTok right here. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in seeing my walk journey. The fourth wellness habit that I want to talk about is stretching and breath work. I recently started stretching when I had been experiencing some sciatica and some back pain since last December. I really started to prioritize stretching. I did a stretching video on YouTube, and how I felt after the stretching video, I felt so calm and so relieved. I really felt like that's not how I feel in my normal and regular life when I'm not stretching. The difference between how I felt after stretching versus just how I am on the day-to-day helps your body to see like how you are when you're not so stressed out or when your nervous system is not dysregulated. Like, you can really feel the difference after a good stretch, especially for me at least, a stretch that has breath work with it. I'll leave the stretching video that I do on YouTube. It's a really good video. The music is very soothing. And now, for those people who might be listening that also have back pain or hip pain as myself, there's another workout video that I purchased from The Workout Witch. That video is actually going to be somatic movements and stretching. That course is designed to help you relieve the stress from your body, but also to help you expel some of that trauma within your body as well. That is a really good video, and I honestly contribute that video to me getting better with my sciatica and my lower back pain. I'll link both of those below. It's something that is new to me. My therapist and I had actually just been talking about how I need to do more breath work, because when I'm anxious I find myself just like holding my breath and feeling like I can't really like take a deep breath or feeling like I can't really release the breath that I'm holding. And so we've been talking about the different ways that I can practice breath work throughout my day, at my job, in stressful situations to really help me to manage my anxiety. I'm not going to talk too much about breath work because I'm still new to it, but I am excited to continue to try it and continue to learn more about it and to see how it helps and improves my life. Fifth wellness habit that I want to talk about is journaling. I talk about journaling a lot on this channel because it's honestly something that I swear by. I've had a journal since I was like a kid, and I have always loved to write, number one, and I've always loved to journal, and just like having this big brain dump, getting my thoughts out from my head and then my thoughts on paper has always helped me so much when it comes to processing and healing. Journaling isn't for everyone. I know I have some friends that don't like to write to journal. So another way you can journal is you can do an audio journal where you're talking to your phone or some device and getting out your feelings that way. You can also do a visual journal where you're recording yourself on a camera like this, or recording yourself on your phone, your computer, whatever device that you have, and just talking and getting all your thoughts out. There are many different ways that you can journal and get those feelings and emotions out. But for me specifically, I'll talk about writing. It's something about putting a pen to the paper that helps me to just process information and work through information and feelings that I'm experiencing. I'm also one of those journal people that has a journal for everything. I think I have like 10 different journals for 10 different things because I can't have all my journals in one. Like I need to have a journal for this and a journal for that. The sixth wellness habit that I want to talk about is emotional freedom technique, or emotional freedom tapping. I first discovered this, I think, in 2020, and it's not something that I do often because I feel like when you have so many different wellness practices, it's hard to keep up and it can be overwhelmed. So I try to just do the ones that I feel like I need the most in that moment. But emotional freedom technique is using the different acupuncture points on your body while focusing on the issue that you're having and also focusing on what you're feeling. My favorite and only person that I've ever watched for tapping is Brad Yates on YouTube. He has a ton of different tapping videos. I feel like he probably has a tapping video for everything. I'll link his channel below. But the way emotional freedom technique works is that you're focusing on this issue that you're having, you're working to resolve it. It's like a mind-body technique that helps you to train your mind and to retrain your subconscious. So some of the tapping that I do with Brad Yates on YouTube, it looks like this. You're just tapping the different acupuncture points in your body, and you're repeating different phrases you're repeating different phrases out loud, depending on whatever it is that you're trying to work through. Tapping works the best when you're consistent with it and when you're doing other wellness practices to help you work through it as well, because like I said, it really gets in your subconscious, and the more you do it, the more it's like muscle memory and retraining your mind to think about things differently. Seventh wellness habit that's not really a habit but I still wanted to talk about is therapy. I first started therapy in 2017 or 2018 after one of my best friends was like, girl, therapy is so good for you, like it really does help you. Immediately I was just like, girl, I don't need therapy, nothing's wrong with me. But I really just grew up in a space where therapy really wasn't talked about or encouraged. It's still just like a very taboo topic for some older folks and also for some of our Black folks as well. I know it's talked about and normalized more within like millennials and Gen Z, but there's still some people out there who aren't so comfortable talking about it just yet. Back to the story, I started therapy in 2017 or 2018, and I really couldn't find a therapist that I liked. At that time, I had tried 3 different therapists, and I just felt like none of them were getting me. So then I tried therapy again in 2020, and I found a therapist that I really liked. I worked with her for about 6 months, and we talked about some things. We helped me process some childhood things, and it was really amazing, but I did not necessarily feel ready to talk about some of the things that I'm talking to my current therapist about. Because obviously it's been 3 years, I've healed, I've gained more awareness, I've gained more of an understanding. So now we're talking about some of these deeply rooted topics that I'm trying to like heal from and work through. I always recommend therapy, especially if it's something that's accessible to you. Talking to somebody who is unbiased and who's trained to help you through what you're going through really does help you so much. I've been talking to my therapist specifically about anxiety, just around life in general. And I find that after our calls, I really do feel lighter. I feel a shift, I feel a release, and I feel different. She's honestly an amazing therapist, and I think the best therapist that I've had for me so far in this phase in my life. If you're someone who is nervous or scared to try therapy, it's 100% okay, because it can feel scary being vulnerable and opening up to a stranger and like someone you don't know. And I just want to encourage anyone who is thinking about trying therapy or who is interested in it, but they feel nervous and scared to do it. I just want to let you know that that is a completely normal feeling to have. It is a very scary and vulnerable thing to put yourself out there and talk to a stranger and tell them about your life. But once you find the right therapist, you'll see how rewarding it can be, but it just may take some time to find the person that's meant for you. Those are the 7 different wellness habits that I have incorporated into my life to help me reset my nervous system, reduce stress, and manage my anxiety. If you already do any of these wellness practices, please let me know below. What are some of your favorite wellness practices that help you manage anxiety and stress? If you haven't tried any of these practices, let me know in the comments which ones you're thinking about trying and if you have any more questions about them. So with that being said, I hope this video was helpful to you. Be sure to connect with me across all socials at Becoming Cleo, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.